You are watching Coffeyville Community College Volleyball on the Red Raven Sports Network. Good Monday evening and welcome to Nellis East Gymnasium on the campus of Coffeyville Community College for the Lady Raven Volleyball season opener against Oklahoma Wesleyan JV. The Eagles are in town and we couldn't be more excited to get the 2024 season underway. I'm Shane Neal, alongside with me tonight, Chris Freund. And Chris, it's always fun to hear about new, the programs working hard in the summer, getting new players, hard at work building chemistry, building teamwork, but nothing quite as exciting as opening night.
You got to love opening night, that's for sure, and it doesn't matter which sport it is. And I'm especially excited for opening night tonight because it is the first time we get to see this team in action and the first time we get to see new head coach Candy Midget. Absolutely.
You mentioned Coach Midget, of course, making her Red Raven debut as the head coach after the departure of Dearden Kelly following 2 seasons at the helm of the program. Of course, Coach Midget comes after serving 2 seasons as an assistant at Labette Community College. And, I don't mean to make an analogy where it isn't meant to fit, Chris, but the last time the Lady Raven volleyball program hired an assistant coach from Labette, worked out pretty well. So excited to see Coach Midget's debut. I know her and her girls ready to go tonight. I'm looking for a win in match number 1.
No doubt about it. I'm excited just to see some college volleyball action. I'm just excited to see the campus back, hustling and bustling, and glad to see the athletic programs all getting ready for what I'm sure is going to be a pretty successful season no matter what sport they're in.
Well, and Chris, the beautiful thing about junior college is a lot of different teams are having very, very new rosters this year. A lot of newcomers, a lot of freshmen that are going to make immediate impact. Sophomores that maybe didn't play a ton their first year, but the Ravens no exception. A lot of newcomers, a lot of players that are going to get some heavy playing time at the college level for the first time in their career. But they do have one key returner that played quite a bit last year, sophomore setter Olivia Murphy, who appeared in nearly 100 sets. She's going to be huge for this team this year in year number 2.
Absolutely, and definitely going to make an impact from the very beginning. I think, I'm wearing my boots, and I think she's still taller than I am.
No kidding. I went out to volleyball practice to do an interview with Olivia a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you, she's every bit of that 6'2" that's put on the roster sheet. Lady Raven Volleyball season opener here tonight on the Red Raven Sports Network. They take on Oklahoma Wesleyan JV. We'll hear from head coach Candy Midget, as well as one of the sophomore captains, Ashlyn Nelson. When we come back, you're listening to Lady Raven Volleyball on the Red Raven Sports Network. Shane Neal and Red Raven Sports Network. We're getting ready for the season opener against Oklahoma Wesleyan JV, and we're now joined by one of the captains of this year's team, Ashlyn Nelson. Ashlyn, thanks so much for taking some time before the opening match. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. And we just kind of touched on it, but obviously after a long off season, summer practices, workouts, and some team scrimmages and stuff like that, I'm sure it's exciting to get back out there and play a team that isn't, your teammates, and finally get back to competing.
It is definitely very exciting. Like, we've been training for this for the past few weeks to finally kind of get out there and show what we can do this year. And I'm really excited because I think we have a good group of girls. We just got to come back together.
Absolutely. And we touched on it a little bit when we talked earlier this summer, but something that, you're one of the 6 returners for this team, but going from, a freshman that was really, kind of learning the ropes and learning the speed of college volleyball last year to now not just a sophomore, but also expected to be one of the leaders of this year's team. What is is there a different mentality for you this year going into the first game of the season? Have you approached anything in a different way, or is it just kind of same old for you?
I would definitely say that this year I'm definitely having more of a get after it type of mentality this year, and I want to win and I want to play and do all those good things and lead as an example, not only for myself but as for the younger girls and my other teammates. And definitely going from freshman year to sophomore year is definitely a big jump since I didn't get to play really last year, so it's definitely just coming up with more responsibility and stuff.
So something that interested me, last year, your freshman year, you started the season away from Nellis Hall, of course, starting the season on the road. A lot of non-conference road tournaments and road games before having, I believe, like 10 straight games at Nellis right before conference play. Now you start the year at Nellis Hall with back-to-back home games. Is it more exciting for you to kind of open up your sophomore season in front of your friends, in front of the home crowd, and to maybe get a little more comfortable having that home court advantage to start the year?
Yes, I definitely feel like it's because we get to have the support of our community and our other students and faculty members for sure. So that'll be a good start to kind of have a home feeling first and then go out on the road and get some work done.
So obviously not a whole lot of film, not a whole lot of team scouting for the first game of the year. Nobody really knows what to expect. But what are some things that you and the leaders of this team and the team as a whole are looking to go out and execute on night one to get the season off on the right foot?
I would definitely say we want to get out there and start out strong to kind of make an appearance out into the conference and to the other teams that, like we're here to play and we're here to win. And also kind of just use Oklahoma Wesleyan as like a preparation for Cali because they are a very hard team and they won last year.
Sophomore Ashlyn Nelson, good enough to join us as we get ready for the Red Raven season opener against Oklahoma Wesleyan JV. Ashlyn, thanks so much for taking some time. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Red Raven pregame show here on the Red Raven Sports Network. Good to be back for another fall season of Red Raven athletics, and we're getting ready for the volleyball season opener against Oklahoma Wesleyan JV, and we're joined by head coach Candy Midget. Coach, thanks so much for taking some time before the opening set. We appreciate it. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and of course with it, we talked about it when you first got hired. We talked about it when the girls got on campus. It's, a lot of things that have been exciting in this process, but nothing quite as exciting as the first game of the year. I'm sure you and the girls very amped up to get back out there, play somebody that isn't you, and get back to games that mean something.
Yes, absolutely. These girls have been looking forward to it for 3 weeks now. I've been looking forward to it. Sleepless night, but we'll get there. It'll be okay.
Absolutely. And, we talked about it a little bit with one of your captains, Ashlyn Nelson, but first game of the year, there's not a lot of film. There's not a lot of knowledge about the teams you're going up against. So when you look at this Oklahoma Wesleyan JV team, what are some of the things on your side, from your team's perspective, that you're hoping to execute here in match number one?
We absolutely have to focus on ourselves first match out of the gate. We need to make sure we're getting first ball kills. We need to make sure our defense is online. We can work on us even though we can't see a lot of film on them, and that's important to me.
Coach, something else that really stands out to me, the Red Ravens a year ago started the year with quite a bit of road games. Started the year on the road, went down to Texas for a tournament, went to Missouri for a tournament as well, challenged themselves in the non-conference, but really didn't play a whole lot of games at Nellis Hall until we got to late September. This year, you get your first two matches of the year at home, and I think with a team with a lot of new faces and a team with a lot of players that are about to get some heavy playing time, that even whether they're new to the team or have been on the team but haven't gotten that amount of playing time, it's going to be a new experience for them. I think the fact that it's in front of their home fans will take a lot of pressure off of them.
I completely agree. It'll be a little nerve-wracking for them. We did a scrimmage and it was a little nerve-wracking for them. Nerve-wracking for me because I need to prove myself to these fans that we can go do a job here at Red Raven Volleyball. But super excited for them. I think, like I said, a little nerve-wracking, but we're at home, so can kind of take some pressure off and let our crowd help us get through it.
And you mentioned the scrimmage against NEO, and that's a good point. What were some of the things you saw in that scrimmage that you liked what your team did, and what were some of the things that you saw and you said, we got to get this polished up before we play a team like Cali coming up later this week?
Right, and that was what that specifically was for, is just to see what we can do. I saw some nerves, but then I saw them also come back and play well. We got better as the day went on, and that's what was important, is making sure that we're ready to go for Wednesday night. Not only Monday night, but Wednesday night as well.
And Coach, last thing I have for you, appreciate you taking some time with us here before the opening night of the season, but something that's really interesting to me, we touched on it all summer long, a lot of new players to this team, a lot of fresh faces, whether they be freshmen, whether they be players that really only played a handful of sets in their freshman year. I would say outside of Olivia Murphy and Dayton Bogle, you really don't have a whole lot of players with a lot of experience in college volleyball. Right, yeah. So with that being said, in a match like tonight, what are the rotations going to look like that we see? Are we going to see kind of you try to find a group of 7, 8, 9 that you stick with moving forward, or are we going to see a lot of experimentation, a lot of trial, a lot of players getting some minutes and seeing what works moving forward?
I absolutely think that it's time, that's their time to do some experimenting. I don't have that rotation set yet, and I think it's important to show me. Some kids are game kids, not as much practice kids. So I think it's important to get them in, let them see what they can do in a game situation, and kind of go from there.
Absolutely. Well, it's time to see what they can do in a game situation. Lady Ravens open the season at home against Oklahoma Wesleyan JV. Head coach Candy Midget good enough to join us as we get ready for set number 1. Coach, thanks so much. And here's hoping in a couple hours we're talking about your first win as Red Raven head coach.
Yes, hopefully so. Thank you.
Absolutely. We got first set coming up next here on the Red Raven Sports Network. Back here at Nellis East Gymnasium on the campus of Coffeyville Community College, getting ready for the Red Ravens season opener against Oklahoma Wesleyan JV. I'm Shane Neal, Chris Freund alongside with me. Let's quickly get you the starting lineups. First for the visiting Eagles, led by head coach Alexis Brown. It is number 14, Garcia Alandra, number 16, Ayana Pachel, number 17, Megan Stewart, number 18, Jenna Woodring, number 21, Jade Gosney, number 22, Peyton Luna, and number 39, Carson Williamson. For the Red Ravens, led by first-year head coach Candy Midget, it is number 3, Brianna Patterson, number 4, Ashlyn Nelson, number 7, Janae Johns, number 8, Kaiten O'Brien, number 12, Nadeja Simeon, number 15, Dayton Bogle, and number 19, Annabelle Bell. Chris, you've gotten your timing down over there?
No, not really.
Well,
it's opening up for everybody.
Well, the Lady Ravens certainly seem to have their timing down. They're on the court. They're ready to roll. 2024 volleyball season just about to get underway. And, Chris, we talked about how important the sophomores will be for this team. We already see 4 of them out on the field, or on the court, I should say. It's opening day for me, too. Brianna Patterson, Ashlyn Nelson, Dayton Bogle, Nadeja Simeon, all 6 sophomores on this roster will be asked to do quite a bit, and we already see 4 out there for Coach Midget's starting lineup.
You can tell she has a lot of confidence already in her sophomores. Some have played more than others, but still, all of them are going to be asked to do a lot this season.
And, of course, good to see, Chris. We see the Red Raven baseball team strutting in here. We saw some members of the Red Raven women's basketball team. I saw Coach Tony Turner a little bit earlier tonight. We saw assistant men's basketball coach Braden Proctor. Good to see some other programs at CCC supporting the Lady Ravens as they get ready to get their season started. It is a culture at Coffeyville Community College, and everybody wants to see everybody win here at CCC.
You can definitely tell it's one big athletic family, and it doesn't matter which sport you play. You're out supporting your other sports, and they're out supporting you. It's a great thing to see.
No doubt about it, it is. Our officials making sure we're all ready to roll. We appreciate both Coach Midget and Ashlyn Nelson taking some time before set 1 tonight to hang out with us on the Red Raven pregame show. We'll be hearing from Coach Midget and her team throughout the season here on the Red Raven Sports Network. So Stewart checks out for Williamson on the Oklahoma Wesleyan side. And again, it's Janae Johns in. And she comes in for Annabelle Bell. So we are officially ready to roll. The visiting Eagles will serve. The 2024 Red Raven volleyball season will be underway as soon as we get the ball inspected. Man, that was quite the tease there, Chris. She was running up. I thought she was ready to roll, and she pump faked me.
Well, it's amazing that we were hearing the referees talk about how the quality control for the volleyballs isn't as good as it used to be, and, well, there's one gone already.
All right. 21, Jade Gosney, the freshman from Stillwater, will serve to get us underway. New era of Lady Raven volleyball under head coach Candy Midget. And we may get started tonight.
Just remember, our first football head coaches show is coming up Wednesday. We'll get Shay over there right after this.
No kidding. They got to play Cali on Wednesday night. They're only going to have a couple hours to warm up at this rate.
This is their warm-up, I'm guessing. And another one.
Should we just go get a basketball from Coach Herkelman in the other gym?
That might work. It might hurt less.
This is maybe the oddest start to a season I can remember. We're on volleyball number 3. Here we go. Take 3, ladies and gentlemen. Jade Gosney, the freshman out of Stillwater.
Third time's the charm?
We hope. Even the officials having a little chuckle at this. College sports are back. Gosney, the whistle blows. Here we go in 2024. Dug by Kaiten O'Brien. It's set to the middle for Nadeja Simeon. That one handled by Williamson. That one blocked at the net by Simeon. And it's going to be out of play and kept alive, but a Raven point. And that's something Nadeja Simeon does really well, Chris, and she's going to have to do it well again this year. She's the best middle blocker on this team. She's going to have to play some good defense at the net. She did on the first point of the year.
Yeah, so far so good, that's for sure.
Simeon is, of course, the sophomore out of Houston, Texas. A lot of competitive volleyball down there in the Houston area. Serving there is Ashlyn Nelson. It's a pretty good serve. Played over by the Eagles. And Simeon keeps it alive. Patterson. And the Ravens will have to play it over. This is Nelson. Now setting up the attack, and that one floated over, and a little miscommunication there will knot up the score at 1. And with a team with as much inexperience as the Ravens, Chris, that's what a opening night match is expected to look like. You're going to see some goods tonight. You're also going to see plenty of stuff to work on. This is a very young team still learning how to play together.
You can just tell. I mean, the communication is already starting to form even after that first point there.
That one, Johns, a little too strong in the return. It goes over to the Eagles' side. Now Johns plays it up, and this is going to be the Alyssa Bartlett, the freshman. The first kill of the year for the Red Ravens goes to the Stillwater freshman, Alyssa Bartlett.
Nice placement of the ball there by Bartlett.
And that's something that this Raven team, I'm excited to see how fast they adapt to this, Chris. They don't have the best size out of all the teams in the Jayhawk Conference, and Coach Midget will tell you that. So these attackers, what they lack in size, they're going to have to make up for in skill and technique. And we saw great technique there from Bartlett.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is the Janae Johns to serve it for the Ravens. That's a really nice serve and a pretty nice return by the Eagles, but the Ravens now have an advantage. Bell, they'll set it up for Bogle, who puts it down. Dayton Bogle, one of 6 returners for this Red Raven team, and the most experienced returning outside hitter. That's a good start to her sophomore season. That one just barely gets over. Eagles having some trouble getting it over. They do. Bell, Patterson got it over, but a net violation gives the point to the Eagles. That's already twice in this opening set, Chris. We've seen a really nice play by the Ravens, followed by a play that they probably wish they'd have back. And again, that's going to be highs and lows we see, not just tonight, but probably in the first couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to learn how to play together and put some points together.
Patterson towards the net, sets it for Bartlett, and that's already the second kill of set number 1 for Alyssa Bartlett.
Got to like that start.
2 kills to start your freshman season. I can think of worse ways to start a career, as we see Charles Caparasso as well as another Red Raven men's basketball player working their way off to our left. Just more Raven. It's hard to miss Charles Caparasso. There's a service ace. Well,
basically, he's the same height we are, and we're kind of up in the rafters.
Well, no doubt about it. For, of course, our returning Raven fans and parents and friends, we welcome you back to the Red Raven Sports Network. For any newcomers, we welcome you here to RRSM, where we stream all home Raven games. Charles Caparasso is 7'1", for those who do not know. And we're excited for what Charles is going to do on the basketball court.
That's for sure.
Murphy sets it far side. Bartlett, the hot hand. And another kill for Alyssa Bartlett.
Have to start calling her the killer.
That's probably one of the best nicknames you can get in volleyball.
No doubt.
Dayton Bogle, the sophomore out of Wichita, to serve. And that one blocked at the net. The duo of Bell and Bartlett. Nelson plays it in the back corner. Murphy tries to play it over, and a little mishit there from Olivia Murphy. Little frustration there from Olivia. A lot of inexperience on this Raven team. Olivia Murphy, she is the exception, Chris. Played in 95 sets in 30 matches a year ago, and her experience going to be leaned on, but it's experience at a valuable position. The setter, basically the quarterback of this offense. Annabelle Bell winds up, but it's blocked at the net. Nice play there by the freshman Jade Gosney.
That was a nice block.
Here's the serve for Wesleyan, floated over. Nice return there by Riley Winchin, the Coffeyville kid. That one hit a little long. And Wesleyan with back-to-back points. Winchin, of course, Chris, a Field Kinley product, and one of only a few NATO volleyball players ever to reach 1,000 career digs. So very, very good volleyball career at Field Kinley for Riley Winchin. That one denied at the net, and that one was Megan Stewart for the Eagles, and they've now all of a sudden pulled together 3 straight points. Now we start to see the rest of the Red Raven men's basketball team work their way through the gym. Wrapping up practice. Bartlett, little mishit on that one. Candy Midget having a word with her team. And that's a key for a young, inexperienced team, Chris, is not letting the mental side become a factor. Mistakes happen in the sport of volleyball. You got to find a way to move on quickly. That one played over. Johns, Murphy plays it over. And it comes back to the Ravens side. Extended rally here. Stewart in the middle. Nelson plays it over. That one and a good hit off the arm of Winchin. And the Eagles have really started to gain some momentum here.
So this is when you see what your team is really made of so early in the season, being in the first game.
And Murphy looking to set it for Bartlett. Bartlett comes in and mishit there as well. Have to wonder if Candy Midget starts to think about using a timeout, but right as of now, she's continuing to offer verbal support. Winchin returns that one. It's going to be a tough play for Murphy. A heck of a play to get it over. And it falls. A mistake by Wesleyan, and it stops the bleeding for the Ravens, and sometimes it pays to be lucky, Chris.
That was definitely a miscommunication there, something you wouldn't expect from this Oakwood team.
And sometimes it's all it takes is a play like that to just completely flip momentum. We'll see if the Ravens can take advantage of it. Now it's the freshman out of Edna, Kansas, the Labette County high school star, Caton O'Brien. That one might have landed out, but Wesleyan plays it over. Ravens will take it. Murphy sets it for Ashlyn Nelson. Floated over and returnable here for the Eagles. Wind it up. Murphy able to keep it up. That's a heck of a play by the sophomore setter, but Nelson can't quite get that one over. We'll have a substitution here for the Eagles as number 22, Peyton Luna, checks in. Ravens with some highs, with some lows early in their 2024 campaign. Looking to find a groove. Murphy setting it for Nelson. Nelson coming in. Returnable here for Oklahoma Wesleyan JV. That one hit long and a Raven point. Now we will see the freshman out of Decatur, Arkansas, Annabelle Bell, to serve. As we'll have a little traffic stop there. Bell with the serve, and that's a pretty good one. Wesleyan scrambling to get it over. They do a nice job of just that. Murphy sets it for Nelson, and Ashlyn Nelson gets her first kill of her sophomore season, and you can see the emotion after that one.
What a kill, goodness.
It's like getting the first catch of the football season or the first points of the basketball season, Chris. It's just getting that weight off your shoulders. The first one, getting it over with.
No doubt, yeah.
Bell to serve again for the Ravens. It's a good one once again. Eagles set it up for Stewart. That one blocked, but it's going to land out of play. And an Eagle point. So Janae Johns comes back in. We have some Raven fans that don't love that call. It was the correct call. Of course, on opening night, the fans are backing the Ravens all the way, but one was outside the line. Ashlyn Nelson floats that one over. Eagles will try to set it over. That's a nice play off the net, and it helps the Eagles out as the Ravens not ready for the ricochet.
Do you call that a lucky break, Shay?
Now, I'd lean towards luck, but there's some skill of hitting it off that part of the net as well.
There is.
Murphy trying to get it to Nelson again. Nelson does a nice job adjusting. And Luna, that's going to be a net violation. Excuse me, that's going to be a push-up there against the Eagles. gives the point to Coffeyville. Bogle back in, as is Patterson, in for Murphy and Winchin. Now it will be the Parsons sophomore, Brianna Patterson, to serve. And that's on the back line for an ace. Can't place it any better than that, Chris.
If there's one thing I've been impressed with this Coffeyville team so far, their serves have been incredible so far.
Patterson will look to do it again. That one, this time, returnable. And they'll set it for Luna. Luna gets it, and that's off of the arm of Kaiten O'Brien. And it's a kill for the Eagles. So we've talked about it a couple times, the ups and the downs that the Ravens have had in set number 1, but credit to the Eagles as well. They've come ready to play tonight. Bogle, Patterson will try to set it back for Dayton Bogle. That one blocked and it lands in play. And that's a Wesleyan point. So this will be Jade Gosney, who served to start the match. O'Brien returns that one. Patterson setting it for Dayton Bogle. That one will get down. If you're the Ravens now, Chris, I mean, we've seen a lot of good in this first set, but now you need to find a way to get that 3-4 straight points that really start to shift momentum your way.
That's for sure.
So this will be the sophomore out of Valley Center, Ashlyn Nelson. Pretty good serve for Nelson. And the Ravens will have a chance to set it up for Dayton Bogle now on the right side, and that one, little mishit. Nadeja Simeon back in for the Ravens. That's the sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Played her high school ball at Klein Forest. Johns, Patterson sets it for Simeon in the middle. Eagles trying to set up here. Patterson. Johns trying to get it to Bogle, and not the attack the Ravens were wanting there. A chance for the Eagles to take advantage, but Simeon there at the net, and that's a big play by the sophomore.
Huge play right there.
Now we see the return of the Decatur freshman Annabelle Bell, who's in for Simeon. Janae Johns with the serve. And that's going to be a Wesleyan point. They're going to say that the Ravens reached the fingers over the net there. Crowd does not agree with that call. I didn't get a great look at it, Chris.
I didn't either, and you would think I would because I'm basically right in front of the net to the side of it, but didn't see it.
So will be Wesleyan serve. And a nice return there by Johns. Put it right back down. Johns able to keep it up again. They now set Bartlett. What a heck of a dig there for Wesleyan, but it falls. And in a very inconsistent opening set for the Ravens, Chris, the most consistent player has been Alyssa Bartlett.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What a player she has been so far.
Dayton Bogle to serve for the Ravens. It's a pretty good one. Eagles will set it up on the right side. And now the Ravens with an advantage. And that one hit out of play. And they're going to call a net violation against the Ravens. Olivia Murphy doesn't love the call. Will we see the first challenge in the Candy Midget era? Does not appear so.
You know, that is something we haven't really talked about too much is this the new video replay system, I believe.
That's right. So now serving here is Brianna Rock. Murphy sets it in the middle for Bartlett and can't get enough on that one. Story of this opening set for the Ravens. They've had plenty of opportunities, plenty of attacking chances. Just a lot of mishits. Annabelle Bell winds up on that one. It's a heck of a dig by Wesleyan. And they'll play it over. Nelson, Murphy. Murphy gets it over, gets it down.
Great decision there by Murphy.
We see the return of Kaiten O'Brien here for the Ravens. Coffeyville looking to find their footing in 2024. Played over by the Eagles. Ravens with a chance to be aggressive on offense. Murphy setting Nelson. Nelson puts it down. Back-to-back points for the Ravens. Nelson and Murphy trying to get the team fired up.
I can already tell that's going to be one of my favorite sights all season. Is just getting ready for the spike there.
Kaiten O'Brien to serve for the Ravens. Ravens looking for their third straight point. That one into the net. O'Brien, Murphy gets it to the middle for Bell, and mishit there by Annabelle Bell. Nelson gets it over. Wesleyan keeps it up. Ravens try to keep it up. That's a heck of an effort by Kaiten O'Brien. Ravens now will have to play defense. That one sneaks over. Kind of a wild rally here at Nellis Hall. Ashlyn Nelson got it over and got it down.
I hate to use the phrase opening night for everybody, but it looks like it's opening night for everybody.
No kidding. Annabelle Bell serving now for the Ravens. That's a really nice serve and a really nice return by Wesleyan. O'Brien, Murphy sets it for Simeon in the middle. It's going to be a kill as it's off the arm of Brianna Rock. And now all of a sudden, 4 of the last points scored by the Ravens. A timeout taken. Let's take it with them. Red Raven Volleyball here on the Red Raven Sports Network. We'll be right back. Wesleyan leads at 20-18 as we move towards the later stages of set number 1. I'm Shane Neal, Chris Freund alongside with me, Red Raven Sports Network. So happy you're with us here for the season opener for Lady Raven Volleyball. Chris, there's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs so far through 38 points, but Ravens have a chance to steal set number 1, and they have some momentum, 4 of the last 5 points. Played over. Ravens will have a chance to be aggressive. Murphy setting. Nelson the hot hand, and got it down. Ashlyn Nelson starting to find her swing. And the Ravens back within a point.
I would not want to be on the other end of that.
No, she's definitely got some violence in that swing.
Yeah, there's some power, that's for sure.
This one's set for Stewart. That's a really nice dig by Annabelle Bell. Murphy plays it over. Ravens keep the rally alive. This time Murphy sets it, but that's going to be contact at the net. Simeon and Murphy were the 2 in the area. I believe Simeon called for contact. Makes it 21-19 Wesleyan. Now Stewart to serve. That's returnable. Nelson floats it over. And they'll now set Luna. That one blocked by Simeon and Murphy. And you can just feel it, Chris. The last 7-8 points or so, feels like the Ravens are starting to play with some confidence.
Yeah, they're really starting to come together. You can just kind of see it kind of building, kind of brewing, even on the bench over there.
Brianna Patterson to serve. Ravens with a chance to tie, but a service error. And a costly one. Makes it 22-20. As we wait for the serve, Chris, some good news for Red Raven fans. Of course, if you're new to Red Raven Nation, we welcome you. But we're talking about the men's basketball team coming into the gym. Brian Griffith, sophomore point guard, moving and does not have a brace on that knee anymore. Great to see.
That is definitely good news.
Dayton Bogle, that one returnable here for the Eagles. Luna floats it over. Simeon, another block. Nadeja Simeon playing like Dikembe Mutombo at the net.
All you need is the finger swag.
That's right. Can you get taunting in volleyball?
That's a good question.
I'd almost be willing to try it.
Almost.
Maybe not at the end of a set.
Maybe if it's not towards the other.
That's right.
The other team, towards the other goal or something.
Big serve here, Ashlyn Nelson. Ravens have momentum. Is it going to be enough to come back and win set one? Nelson, sliding return there for the Eagles. Stewart blocked. It's Alyssa Bartlett on that one, and we are tied. What a rally from the young Ravens.
You can just see it building, Shay. You can just see it building.
Well, now, Chris, I mean, this is it goes without saying, coming back and tying it is awesome, but now you got to finish the job.
Right, exactly.
Nelson serving again, and that one a little long. And we talked about it a little bit earlier in the set, Chris. The key for a young team, having a short memory. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be ups and downs.
Right.
Find a way to move on quickly. This team didn't have the first half of the set they wanted, but, man, have they looked a lot better in this second half of the set. Now we'll see if they can close it out and take a one-set lead. Serving here, this is Kingsley Catley. And what a return by Johns. And that's going to be a miscommunication play there for the Ravens. That's going to set up a set point here for Oklahoma Wesleyan JV. Johns the return. Patterson setting Bartlett. Bartlett has had a great first set, and she adds one more to it.
Let's go.
Now you do have to win a set by 2, Chris, so the Ravens get a point here. We reset, and it's back to whoever gets 2 points first. Johns plays it over. Played over by the Eagles. Bartlett keeps it alive, and the Ravens keep the rally going. Heck of an effort. Floated over again by the Eagles. Bogle, Patterson, Bartlett, the hot hand. That one dug out by Kingsley Catley. Played over again. They'll set Bell in the middle. It's blocked. And a marathon of a set one goes the way of the Eagles. And we're going to have a brief conversation between our officials, I believe. But now we've had some odd things happen here in the first set of the year, Chris.
Yeah, it really has been a little strange.
But now set one is in the books. Wesleyan wins set one 25-23, but the Ravens looked significantly better in that last 12 points or so. We'll see if they can take that momentum into set number 2. We're back in just a couple minutes here on the Red Raven Sports Network. Set number 2 about to get underway here at Nellis East on the campus of Coffeyville Community College. Oklahoma Wesleyan JV able to snag set number 1, 25-23. I'm Shea Neal, Chris Freund alongside with me. And Chris, obviously you look at the first set and you see the Ravens drop the first set, but I think it was really a tale of two halves of that set. First 15 points or so, Ravens looked like a team full of freshmen. Second, last 12, 15 points or so of that set looked like a completely different group, and they nearly came back and stole that set.
Yeah, they definitely came around in the second half of that set, and it'll be interesting to see how that momentum carries through over to set number 2 here.
We do have a couple new Eagles out there on the floor. It is number 45, Mariana Stewart, and number 48, Mariella Busey. Yeah, and both of those players, thank you, Chris, are from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. So there you go. There's a lot of Bartlesville kids on this team. We also have an Independence kid on this team in Jenna Woodring, as well as a Claremore, Oklahoma kid in Brianna Rock. So a lot of hometown kids from Oklahoma Wesleyan. So it will be both teams heading back onto the floor. And like we talked about, the Ravens definitely playing more confident towards the end of that first set. But now when the score resets, you got to find a way to figure out what was working for you in that last 10 points or so and keep it going.
And Coach Midget has seen what has been working well, especially in those that last half of that first set. So
that's right. Set 2 getting ready to get underway. Brianna Patterson to serve for the Ravens. Returnable here for the Eagles. They set it for Busey. Returnable here for the Ravens. John sets it for Ashlyn Nelson. Nelson winds up, gets the first kill of set number 2. 1-0 CCC. And talked about the Ravens heating up as the set went on, Chris. That's who should I say? Suspect number 1, and who heated up the most. Ashlyn Nelson was great at the end of that first set, as that serve from Patterson goes long, and we are knotted at 1. First set was about as close as it could get, 25-23. O'Brien, Patterson sets it for Simeon in the middle, and that's going to fall. Nadeja Simeon, not a ton of kills on the stat sheet so far for Nadeja, Chris, but just really being a solid presence in the middle of the court, having already multiple blocks in this one. I've really been impressed with her at that middle blocker spot.
Yeah, that's a very important position, and she's definitely showing her skill so far in this matchup.
Nelson serving now. It's returnable. They get it to the middle, and a response quickly for Wesleyan. That's a kill for Garcia Alondra. Alondra, a senior from Brownsville, Texas. Two. Patterson setting it for Bogle. Bogle comes in and plays it over. And that one lands out of play. Wesleyan has their first lead here in set number 2. That one hit just a hair long. And now 3 consecutive points for the Eagles makes it 4-2.
There's a little pepper on that one.
Definitely. This is Carson Williamson. And that one floated into the net. Ravens looking to knot up the score, but that's a great swing there from Megan Stewart. To make it 5-3 Wesleyan. That'll send in Reagan Boulard to serve. And Bogle and cannot connect there with Patterson. So after the Ravens got off to a 2-1 start, 5 out of the last 6 points scored by the Eagles, and Candy Midget takes a timeout. We'll take one with her. We'll be right back here on the Red Raven Sports Network. Back here at Nellis East with the score 6-3. Oklahoma Wesleyan leading in set number 2. I'm Shay Neal, Chris Freund alongside with me. That one lands. And the Ravens will take it. Second time today where Ravens have been trying to scrapping for some momentum, and a little miscommunication play by Oklahoma Wesleyan gives them a little bit of a break.
It may go without saying, but I'm starting to realize just how much communication does play a part as far as just the teammates working together and how it being the first game of the season. We'll play that. I'm sure it'll be a whole lot better as the season goes along, but just kind of getting that communication started. It's interesting to see how that begins.
No question. We got a good number of Red Raven football players across the gym from us. Of course, Red Raven football opens their season on Thursday night against Kansas Wesleyan JV. And there's a kill for Alyssa Bartlett. Who else at this point? Tell you what, if you're a Red Raven fan heading into tonight and hadn't heard the name Alyssa Bartlett, you know who that is now.
Yep, you definitely know who it is.
Caden O'Brien serves it. Eagles trying to set up the return. That one deflected, kept up by the Ravens. Winchin gets it to Ashlyn Nelson. That one deflected, and it's down. Back-to-back points for the Ravens. They pull back within one. It's 7-6.
There's a football player not knowing what to do with a round ball. He's only used to the kind of oblong-shaped one.
Is that one deflected? That's a service ace, and we're tied. I'd be willing to bet a good number of those guys over there played basketball in high school, Chris.
Probably so.
Those guys look like they were multi-sport athletes.
He's like, okay, what do I do with this? Oh, yeah.
As this one set to the far side and dug out nicely by Winchin. Ashlyn Nelson, big-time spike. Kept up nicely by the Eagles. Ravens trying to play on the attack. Murphy sets it for Bell. Diving dig by Wesleyan. Ravens left to set up again. Johns, Murphy, Nelson, big swing. It stays up again. One of the longer rallies of the night. It goes the Raven way as Bell and Murphy meet the Eagle offense at the net. Now, Chris, I may be biased. I am the voice of Red Raven football. But I couldn't be more excited to see those gentlemen take the field on Thursday night.
Oh, no doubt about it.
I hear nothing but good things about how this football team is going to play this year.
And, of course, that is an away game.
That's right.
So as the morning show guy on US 98, I would be amiss if I didn't say pregame starts around 6:30.
That's correct.
Kickoff at 7 on US 98.
And Johns tries to slide in there. That's going to be a service ace for Wesleyan to make it 9-8. And Chris, I know it's opening night, and both of these teams are going to have plenty to work on here after night number 1. But something that has become an issue for the Lady Ravens here as we moved into late set 1 and early set 2 was a lot of service errors that's costing them some points and some rallies. Murphy sets it for Bell. Bell will tie the game.
That, however, was not one of them.
That was not an error. That was a great play.
It was.
Now Annabelle Bell will serve, the freshman out of Decatur, Arkansas. And playable here for the Eagles. Big swing. Bell with a great dig, and the Ravens keep it up. O'Brien, Bell plays it over. Ravens got to play some defense here. Set to the far side, and that one hit out. Raven point, they regain the lead. And it all starts because of the nice athleticism and dig from Annabelle Bell and the great follow by Kaiten O'Brien. Bell with an ace. Ravens have a 2-point lead. See, Chris, I'm just trying to offer some, friendly encouragement up here.
I think you're doing well with that.
Some positive criticism.
Yes, absolutely.
Bell, and that one tried to find the line, came pretty close. But it is going to land out of play. 11-10. I like the idea, though.
Yeah, it was pretty wide open in that area. Just couldn't quite make it there.
So this is Mia Tucker for the Eagles. Oklahoma Wesleyan JV down a point here in set number 2. They lead it 1-0. Nelson, was that deflected? It was not. And we are knotted at 11. I'm not a math major. I don't need to be a math major to tell you that in a best of 5, you don't want to start off down 2-0.
That is true.
Hard to pull off the reverse sweep. That one served into the net. Ravens regain the lead. Feels like set 2 of the season opener is a little early to call it a must-win set, Chris, but this is a very important set for the Lady Ravens.
It really is. It really is.
Brianna Patterson, the Parsons sophomore, Southeast Kansas kid, set to serve. We talked with Brianna a little bit before the season started and just how much it means to her to be able to play close to home, have her family and friends be able to attend home games. Always fun for a local kid to make it big at CCC. That one played over. Nelson able to keep it up. Patterson setting for Dayton Bogle. Bogle, big swing, and a little bit long on that one. That knots us up at 12.
I think both teams just looking for a way to hone that in just a little bit, that big hit, if you will.
Yeah, right. And it's like the best comparison I can make is that's going to be a nice play by Patterson to get that over. Looked like a play that was certainly lost for the Ravens, but they keep it up. Ashlyn Nelson, big swing. Ravens keep it up again. Patterson plays it over and finds the back line. Brianna Patterson was the MVP of that rally. My goodness.
Goodness gracious, yeah.
But this reminds me of like on opening day on the baseball field, Chris. You sometimes see the starting pitcher overthrow some pitches. Just a little bit amped up. First game of the season. Just got to find a way to hone it in and use that that fire and that motivation for good and not for evil, as some might say. And that's going to be a Wesleyan point to knot us up at 13. Megan Stewart back in for the Eagles. She's been one of their better attackers tonight in the middle. Speaking of Stewart, right on cue. Puts it down and makes it 14-13 Wesleyan. Alyssa Bartlett, big swing. Eagles with a heck of an effort to keep that up. That one played over. John sliding stop. Patterson gets it to Bartlett. Again, a longer rally here. This is a big one. And it's going to go the way of the Ravens. Knotted at 14. That's something we haven't touched on yet tonight, Chris, but with the bleachers on the other side of the gym unavailable, it's almost like Oakland Coliseum. A lot more foul ground here at Nellis Hall now where you can kind of run down a ball that gets out of play.
That is true, yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic here. And that one just over the back line. Another service error for the Ravens.
I'm not sure if we call that Mount Herkelman or what we call it over there, though.
Mount Herkelman, I like that.
Yeah.
Play was stopped there. I'm not sure what that call was. It's going to be a Wesleyan point. Makes it 16-14.
Now, from what I understand, CCC they're going to move their volleyball games to San Jose next year.
Waiting that stadium in Vegas.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bogle, Patterson back to Dayton Bogle, and Bogle swings and puts it down. (16-15) as Olivia Murphy checks back in for the Ravens. This is going to be a tough play to get it over. Nicely done there by the Eagles. Played over by Murphy, and that's just a heads-up sophomore play there for Olivia Murphy. Ties it at 16. That's what a veteran setter can do, Chris.
Sleight of hand, nope, just a great play.
Bogle to serve. Ravens have tied it at 16. Wind up, and Nelson able to keep that one up. Johns. And Bogle will have to play it over. Advantage Wesleyan as the Ravens couldn't get an attack off. Wind up, blocked at the net by Bell and Murphy. Back-to-back points with Olivia Murphy heavily involved, and the Ravens regain the lead. We talked about it earlier, Chris. You want to be successful early with a young team, your sophomores got to step up. And in this set, we've seen Patterson and Murphy do just that.
You bet we have.
Stewart hits it. Nelson keeps that one up. Another sophomore, but that one's going to land. Bartlett frustrated there. Not sure if that was her ball or if it was just frustration of letting that drop, but that'll tie us up at 17. Johns, Murphy, setting Annabelle Bell. That's going to get down. We talked about Nelson having a powerful swing. Annabelle Bell's got one that's pretty strong as well, Chris.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Freshman out of Decatur, Arkansas. Something that's very impressive about Bell, Chris, is two-time player of the year and three-time all-conference player in 2A at Decatur High School.
What a serve.
Absolutely. Ravens have a 19-17 lead, trying to knot us up at one set apiece tonight. That serve was by the Lebec County star, Caton O'Brien. And Chris, we've heard the name Caton O'Brien a ton over the last 2 years. Not just a volleyball star, also a star on the basketball court and the softball field. Bell setting up Ashlyn Nelson. And that one's going to fall. Ravens with a 3-point lead. Timeout taken by Alexis Brown. Ravens up 3, 5 points away from their first set win of the year. We'll be back right after this on the Red Raven Sports Network. Ravens on top, 20-17 in set number 2. Caton O'Brien to serve out of the timeout. I'm Shane Hill, Chris Freund alongside with me. That one hit long, and it was not deflected. So happy to be here. First night of the year on the Red Raven Sports Network. And, Chris, obviously we have a full calendar year of fun to have with football, volleyball, soccer, basketball, cross country, softball, baseball. I could go on, but just excited to get back in the saddle tonight.
No doubt. Nice block, unfortunately, out of bounds.
But just like at the end of the first set, Chris, it feels like this Raven team aging like a fine wine. As the set goes on, they get stronger and stronger, which is a good sign in a team.
It really is.
Stewart, that's Bell, and Murphy will set it for Ashlyn Nelson. Nelson got it down. And that's a great heads-up play by Ashlyn Nelson. Saw the back line of the Eagles come in a little bit too much. Just floated it to that back line, and Eagles unable to recover. So here's Annabelle Bell, who's really had a nice set number 2, and gets a service ace to add on to it. 23-18 Coffeyville, and they're inching in on the first set win under head coach Candy Midget. Can they close it out? Bell, another service ace. What do you think, Chris? Does she just call it here? 3 in a row?
Might as well, yeah.
Oh, we're going to have a timeout for icing the kicker.
You know, it's interesting. I love the serve of Bell. She has that finesse that she can put over the net, or she has the power to break her clapper if you want to.
Well, we've seen early in this one.
That's part of a bell, by the way.
Yes, that's the bottom of a bell.
Yes.
But the first 2 sets of the year, Chris, this Raven team, they're going to be very aggressive on their serves this year. A lot of errors, a lot of aces. They're going to be very aggressive on the serve. That just seems to be a part of their team identity. It's kind of like the Cincinnati Reds of Major League Baseball. They're going to steal a lot of bases. They're going to get thrown out on the base paths a lot. You take the bad with the good.
Did you just quote the facts of life?
I did.
And, of course, he would work a Cincinnati Reds reference.
Hey, I think that was a good comparison, Chris.
It actually was, yeah.
Bell going for 3 straight aces to end it. Won't quite get that one down. It is blocked at the net by Nelson. Eagles try to reset. That one is down. And a kill for Wesleyan with their back against the wall. Makes it 24-19. So again, a set point for the Ravens. We see number 24, who is not identifiable on my roster sheet, Chris. We have our first mystery player of the year. That one, what a play by Winchin.
Wow.
So that's going to be a push-up. Back-to-back points for the Eagles. It's 24-20. Still a 4-point edge for the Ravens, but this is what we talk about, Chris, of finishing and completing the full set performance.
Right.
Got to make sure you close them out here. Ashlyn Nelson winds up, and it is down. Ravens win set 2. Ashlyn Nelson finishes the job. Ravens set 2 winners, 25-20. We go to set 3. It is now a best of 3. We'll be back in just a couple minutes on the Red Raven Sports Network. Set 3 with each team having claimed a set early in this one. You're listening to Red Raven Volleyball on the Red Raven Sports Network. Back here from Nellis East on the campus of Coffeyville Community College. I'm Shane Neal, Chris Freund alongside with me tonight. And Chris, something that is an improvement from a year ago. We called the season opener for Lady Raven basketball last year. And so far, knock on wood, we have a wood table right in front of us. We're 2 sets into this one, and I haven't called you Freund yet.
That is good. I'm very proud of you.
First time I interacted with you on air last year, I got your name wrong.
Yes, you did. So far, so good.
So far, so good. I've been practicing. But, Chris, this one tied at a set apiece so far. Oklahoma Wesleyan won the first one 25-23. Ravens win set 2 25-20. We've seen a lot of different impact players in this one, but set 1, it was Alyssa Bartlett and Nadeja Simeon that really impressed me, Chris. In set number 2, Olivia Murphy had her moments. Brianna Patterson had her moments. Annabelle Bell really closed that set out. It was an impressive all-around effort for the young Ravens.
Absolutely. You're seeing a lot of different players step up. It'll be interesting. It'll be great to see how they grow as this season just gets going.
Well, and that's something that Coach Midget said in the pregame, Chris. This part of the season, first couple matches of the year, you're going to get your chance to earn time. You're going to get your chance to earn opportunities. So far, the players we've seen tonight, they've gone out, they've earned it.
They've definitely earned it, that's for sure. But I tell you what, this Oakwood team is not a team to be taken lightly.
No, they are not. I think that's the most important thing to take away from this one so far. Have there been highs and lows for the Ravens tonight? Absolutely. But with that being said, Chris, we can talk about the mistakes the Ravens have made, and I think still give the Eagles their flowers. Through 2 sets so far tonight, they have played really, really sound volleyball. I think the JV in their name is a disservice.
It really is, yeah.
It will be a serve here for the Eagles, and number 21, Jade Gosney. This set 3 feels very, very big. This one's set for Ashley Nelson, an early kill for the Ravens. Again, Chris, not a math major, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, not even the sharpest knife up here in the box. But you don't want to be the team that has to win back-to-back sets to win tonight. So
right.
This set 3 is huge.
Huge.
Nelson to serve, 1-0 Ravens, early set 3, and that one into the net. I can't speak for Coach Midget, but if the match ended here, I think her biggest gripe would be the service errors.
Right.
That would be my guess.
Right.
That one floated over. Johns, Patterson, nice play, but ended up making contact with the net. So I spoke a little too soon, and it's a point for the Eagles. Nice effort.
Definitely.
2-1 Oklahoma Wesleyan early set 3. Johns again down to a knee to return that one. It's set for Alyssa Bartlett. The Stillwater freshman puts a hard swing into that one. Nelson, nice play to keep it up. But it's going to end up being an Eagle point. So 3 consecutive points for the Eagles after a kill from Ashlyn Nelson. Patterson setting it for Nadeja Simeon. That's an athletic play to get it over with the left hand. And set for Dayton Bogle now, and that one going to be a tough return, and it's down. Ravens will take the points anywhere they can get them. As we continue on to the the legends in attendance tonight here at Nellis East, Chris, Dr. David Wiggins over there in the far corner. Of course, the director of the Red Raven Band.
I think he wears many hats.
He does. Not many, as that serve goes long, 4-2 Wesleyan. Not many bigger Raven athletic fans out there than Dr. Wiggins.
That's true, although he doesn't wear very many hats. He does wear a lot of jackets.
A lot of Red Raven polos, too.
Yeah, exactly.
As there was contact with the net, and the point will go to Wesleyan.
In fact, I think Dr. Wiggins, he wears like 5 polos a night, and he takes one off and signs it and hands it out.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And then it goes on eBay for hundreds of dollars.
I can imagine 4 people a night wanting Dr. Wiggins' autograph.
Yeah, definitely.
Brianna Patterson sets it for Dayton Bogle. That's a nice swing by Bogle, and it gets down. Now we'll see Olivia Murphy check back in.
And the referee's either doing the hustle or calling for a travel. I'm not sure.
Or maybe a little bit of both.
A hustle travel.
That one gets over. It's an ace for Dayton Bogle. And Chris, on opening night, I'm up here in the crow's nest, if you will, looking for some positives, looking for good things about this Raven team in the debut of the 2024 season.
Right.
I really liked the duo of setters of Brianna Patterson and Olivia Murphy. I think they complement each other well.
They do.
Murphy setting it for Bell. Bell able to get it over. It was an athletic play to just get that ball over. Ravens will reset. Murphy setting for Bartlett. Bartlett can't quite get all of that one. That'll make it 6-4 Eagles. But in set two, we kind of saw the Ravens get off to a slower start and then find their groove, build up a lead, close it out. So I think the key now is, just hang through the first part of the set, find your groove, and that's when you make your move. Nelson can't get that one over. I will say a positive for the Ravens tonight is they haven't allowed themselves to get into that 5, 6, 7 point hole.
Right.
That in volleyball is so hard to overcome. We see ranked teams go down all the time because you find yourselves down 7 points. That's hard to come back from. Murphy setting it. Bell flicks it over. They now come near side. That is a heck of a swing. That might be the kill of the night.
Yeah, you couldn't have placed that one any better.
That's Ayanna Pachel. Pachel, the freshman out of Granbury, Texas. Bartlett hits that one a little long, and 9-4 Wesleyan. Do we see Candy Midget call a timeout?
Granbury, Texas is a very cool.
Yes, we do, on cue.
That was very nice.
Ravens call timeout, down 9-4 early in set number 3. We return right after this here on the Red Ravens Sports Network. Ravens trail 9-4 in set number 3. We are knotted at one set apiece, and there's a kill for Annabelle Bell as we return to the action. Shay Neal, Chris Freund alongside with you. Chris, we talked about it earlier, but obviously we're pulling for a Raven victory here tonight. That would make the night even better, but as a selfish sports fan, I'm just happy that sports are back here on the campus of Coffeyville Community College. That's a point for the Eagles to make it 10-5.
Yeah, it is nice to see sports back, not only on the airwaves, but just back in Coffeyville in general.
It was a long summer. Very hot summer.
Yeah, still is.
Murphy setting for Nelson. Nelson coming in full speed. Played by the Eagles, but that one down. Bell and Murphy team up for the block. I love that celebration. I don't know if you saw that, Chris, the pat of the top of the head. That's what basketball players do when they dunk, where it's the on-your-head celebration. I like that.
Very nice. That was almost on the head, unfortunately.
That's, again, a theme that we've seen tonight for the Ravens. They've been very aggressive on their serves. A lot of service aces tonight. That's a plus. But with that, a lot of service errors, but sometimes the volleyball gods giveth and taketh away. So 11-7, Ravens trail by 4. We'll see the return of Brianna Patterson and Dayton Bogle.
And if I remember correctly, the volleyball god is named Wilson, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's friends with Tom Hanks.
Gotcha.
And that's a heck of a play there. Hit with a little bit of a dose of Olivia Murphy's medicine there.
Yeah. Seems like we've seen that from a different colored jersey just a little while ago.
Sports are competitive, Chris. You get something done to you, you want to do it back.
That's true.
Simeon in the middle. It's a nice dig there by the freshman. And there's Simeon with a block at the net. Can you dig that?
No, I'd have to let it go, yeah. If you were at Vaughn and DeVille, you heard the song, Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. We might have just seen that.
Yeah, that's right. Let me tell you, I can't do that.
No. I would do anything for volleyball, but I won't do that.
Ashlyn Nelson, playable here for the Eagles. Floated over. Simeon. Athletic play to get that over. Now the Ravens with a chance to go on the offensive. Out of play. Back-to-back points for Coffeyville. It's 12-9.
I'm just hoping somebody in the audience got the meatloaf reference. That's all I can say. Otherwise, I just showed my age, and not in a good way.
It's a long season. You'll have plenty of opportunities to do that. There's an ace for Ashlyn Nelson. We talk about it, Chris. This Ravens team has gotten better as the set goes on. All 3 sets tonight. They were down 5 earlier in the set. It's now down to a 2-point set.
Yeah, they're starting to find that groove a little bit.
There was one of the few, I shouldn't say few, one of the first examples of 2024 in what we refer to as the announcer's jinx.
Yep, I was just thinking that.
Don't worry, folks. It'll happen plenty this year. On the football field, on the basketball court, on the baseball diamond.
We might need to get a counter for that.
Nelson can't quite get that one over.
Is it possible to get a counter for the Froon Jinx? Because I have a feeling we might have one right there.
14-10 now, with the Eagles leading it. Johns sliding return. Patterson floats it over. Now the Eagles will set up. Simeon blocks that one, but it's going to land out of play. Kudos to the Eagles. Coffeyville made their run, got it down to 2, and the Eagles respond with 3 consecutive points.
So they got a little run of their own, don't they?
15-10. Coffeyville looking to respond. Patterson for Bogle. Nice dig by Oklahoma Wesleyan. That one hit long, and the Ravens get a point. Good to have Dirk Andrews back in the building as well.
Absolutely.
Now that's the real voice of the Red Ravens, let me tell you.
I hear that.
Janae Johns the serve. They get it to the middle. Bartlett, heck of an effort. And Bogle will play it over. Ravens with a chance to be on the attack. Wesleyan trying to play it over, and it's down. Heck of an adjustment by the Eagles.
The ability to think on your feet. I admire that from both teams so far.
And that's once again the freshman, Yana Pichel. She's really had her best set of the night here in set number 3, and her team's needed it. That's Bartlett, and that one off the out-of-bounds pole. Makes it 17-11. So if the Ravens want to claim set number 3, they're going to have to make that run here pretty soon. Down 6 points as we move to the later stages. Bartlett, that one partially blocked. And that one, again, off the pole. It's a Raven point this time. Murphy back in for Coffeyville. 17-12, and we'll see Dayton Bogle serve. So I think we're ready to roll. Bogle will serve, the sophomore out of Wichita. Ravens down 5 here in set number 3. That one long. So here comes the Eagles serve. Murphy plays it over. That is a big-time play by Olivia Murphy. A play that looked kind of busted there for the Ravens. Murphy able to make something out of nothing and turn it into a point.
No doubt about it. And once again, the ability to think on your feet.
Ravens with a chance to be on the offensive here. Winchin, Murphy, got it down again. We saw in set 2, Chris, the Ravens kind of found their groove when Olivia Murphy started getting more aggressive on the offensive end. Back-to-back kills for number 9. And into the net. Ravens have cut the deficit in half. It's 18-15. And here come those Rally Ravens once again. Good serve by Kaiten O'Brien. And again, the Ravens a chance to be aggressive. Murphy setting Bell and can't quite get that one over.
I love the thought process behind that. Couldn't quite keep it in bounds, though.
Winchin to Murphy. Murphy setting Kaiten O'Brien, who comes in from the back and overswing on that one. Timeout Coffeyville. We'll take a short intermission with them. We'll be right back. You're watching Red Raven Volleyball here on the Red Raven Sports Network. Nelson hits that one long as we return to Nellis Hall, and Wesleyan's built their lead up to 21-15. Shane Neal, Chris Freund alongside with you. And Chris, we've seen in each of these first 3 sets, the Ravens kind of start slow and get going as the set goes on. That serve into the net. Obviously, as the year goes on, especially on Wednesday when you play Cali, you want to have a little bit stronger starts than they've had tonight, but they have shown some resilience in sets tonight, and unless they can go on a massive run here to end set number 3, they may have to win each of the last 2 sets to get a win tonight. But they'll try their best to go on a run, and there's Nadeja Simeon colliding with Olivia Murphy. We hope they're both okay. And they are. Both slow getting up, and I think it was because of laughs, not because of pain.
Right.
We saw Simeon kind of go face first into the shoulder of Olivia Murphy, but at least they were both there on that play, huh?
Right, that's for sure.
It's a heck of a play by Simeon, almost falling to the ground, kind of hit it up, and she will be subbed out. I can imagine she's a little shaken up after that.
Yeah, I'd say she might need a breather on that one, but goodness, what a play anyway.
So we'll see number 6 check in for the Ravens. That's Nadia Kalu. Kalu, the freshman out of Houston, Texas. Went to Ridge Point High School. Now, something, Chris, we didn't talk about. 2 of the sophomores on this team, Dayton Bogle and Skyland Hogan-Turner, we have not seen yet tonight. Both from Wichita. Dayton went to Wichita Northwest. Skyland went to Wichita Northeast. So how about that? High school rivals turned college teammates.
Joining forces.
Kalu sets it for Caton O'Brien. Diving dig there for the Eagles. They set it. That's going to get past the block of Murphy and down 22-17. Wesleyan the lead. I see, I believe, another Red Raven basketball sophomore off to the far right corner of Nellis East. That's a returning sophomore out of Arkansas, Des Marshall. Murphy gets that over and gets it down. That was like the reverse layup equivalent of volleyball, Chris. I don't know if she saw where she was putting that. It was a heck of a play.
Yeah. I don't want to say play of the day, but one of the top plays you've seen so far tonight.
So Brianna Patterson serving here for the Ravens. It's a good one. It's played over. Ashlyn Nelson, heck of a recovery to get it over. Ravens got to play some defense here. That's floated over. Caton O'Brien. Patterson setting Nelson. Nelson. Going to be a tough return for the Eagles. They make a nice play. Ravens a chance to be aggressive. Patterson setting Bogle. Bogle couldn't quite get the power on it she wanted. That one floated over. Longer rally, huge point. Ravens trying to cut it to 3. Nelson will have to play it over. And a diving dig by Kalu. Excuse me, that was Patterson. Floated over again. Patterson keeps it up. Nelson. It stays up again. What a rally, and they're going to say it's a point for the Eagles. Nelson visibly frustrated. That'll make it 23-18.
After a back and forth like that, you kind of hate to see it end that way. That was a great point, even if it didn't quite go your way.
23-18, the Eagles hold a 5-point edge. 2 points away from taking set number 3. Bogle. Patterson setting it for Nelson. Nelson now on the opposite side of the court. Johns, that's a heck of an effort. Nelson, big swing again. And overhits that one. It's set point for Wesleyan. Bogle coming in. That's going to be a kill off the deflection. Lissa Bartlett back in for Caton O'Brien. That one played over. Set point here for the Eagles. And that's going to be a set ender. Set 3 goes the way of Wesleyan, 25-19. And the Ravens, night number 1, under head coach Candy Midget. They're going to have to show a come-from-behind effort. Down 2-1, back against the wall. Ravens got to win 2 sets in a row to get a win on opening night. Can they do it? Set 4, back after this on the Red Raven Sports Network. You know things are about to get real when the 1996 Chicago Bulls intro starts playing, and that's what's going through the speakers here in Nellis East. I'm Shane Neal, Chris Freund alongside with me. We'll see if the Lady Ravens can unleash their inner 96 Chicago Bulls. They're down 2-1. They got to pull off a little bit of MJ magic to get a win here on opening night in 2024.
I remember when that song first came out. It was a banger then. It wasn't a rerun like it is now.
I was going to say, I hate to do this to all the people listening on the stream, but no player in this game was born when this song was used for the Bulls.
Thank you so much for making me feel that old.
I'm sorry, I had to do it.
When I was born, the Dead Sea was just sick.
Thank you. Wise words with Chris Freund.
My social security number is 7.
Wow. Brianna Patterson will serve to get set 4 started. Man, Andrew and I can't get through a broadcast without laughing. That one punched over. That's going to be a Wesleyan point.
Was that a jab? And just think, ladies and gentlemen, with you on the Red Raven Coaches Show Wednesday, the volleyball broadcast will be me. Just thought we'd give you a warning just in case.
There you go. That's right. I'll be with Coach Doughboy.
You will.
Well, Dez and Brian found each other over there. That's great. And Charles Caparossi. There's the big 3 right there.
The big 3.
Ashlyn Nelson floats it over. And that's a kill. Makes it 2-0 Wesleyan. Of course, we got a lot of volleyball and football and soccer to get through before we get to basketball season, but I think Red Raven Nation's excited for basketball season in May when the season ends.
No doubt about it.
Especially with the talent we have coming to Coffeyville this year on both the men's and women's side. That one is over, and an early 3-0 lead for Wesleyan. And we talked about, Chris, the Ravens are going to have to complete a comeback tonight. Flip side of that, Wesleyan's trying to get this thing over in 4. You don't want to go to a set 5.
No, that's for sure.
That's why we talked about, as Bogle hits that one a little long, that's why we talked about set 3 being so important. The Eagles now get 2 chances to end this thing.
That's true. And you don't want to let a team like Coffeyville back in this.
Simeon. Good to see Nadeja back in the game. She left briefly in set number 3 as Nelson, big windup. Eagles, heck of an effort to keep that up. Nelson, big windup again. Can't keep that one up. Seems like there's been some mixed results, of course, as the night's gone on. But when the Ravens have needed a big point on offense, seems like more times than not we've seen them go the way of Ashlyn Nelson. Would you agree?
I would totally agree with that.
That's just me making, opening night mental notes. Floated over, Bartlett the return. Patterson setting it for Bogle. Bogle on the far side, block, kept it up. Simeon, what a tightrope act. Ravens still keep it up. That is a ridiculous effort from Coffeyville. And eventually it gets down. There was about 4 different moments where that ball should have hit the floor and didn't. That was nearly maybe the most impressive point of the night from Coffeyville if they could have gotten it.
Yeah, no doubt. Just showing the resiliency of the whole team. Everyone out on the floor.
As Johns, Patterson floats it to Simeon. Not much you can do about that. We talked about it, set 3. Nadeja Simeon left briefly after colliding with Olivia Murphy. Didn't seem like a big deal at the time, but just an opportunity to kind of stretch out, catch her breath, and like we hoped, seems like it's a very minor thing. Good to see Nadeja back out there.
Absolutely.
Another Raven who's had a strong season debut. Bartlett, big windup. That's a kill. And as you expect with freshmen, Chris, after a fantastic first set, haven't called Alyssa Bartlett's name as much the last 2 sets. They're going to need her to get back going. That's a big start there.
It is.
Diving dig by Patterson. Ravens starting to show some intensity on the defensive end. Nelson, Patterson, Bogle plays it over. Little collision there from the Eagles. They're able to keep it up. Nelson diving keeps it up. Ravens will have to play it over. Chance for Wesleyan to be aggressive. They set it for Stewart. Now the Ravens look to respond. Bartlett, big time dig. Kept up again. Impressive rally from both sides. Huge point here. Bogle. Ravens keep it up. Bell, Patterson. One of the longer rallies of the night. And a big windup. Nelson kept it up. Ashlyn Nelson. And that one blocked at the net. It's a Raven point. Bartlett and Bell. Attorneys at Bull. Denial at the net.
That got this crowd going.
That got that team going. That
No
bench
doubt.
just erupted.
Yeah.
Stewart, that one deflected. Patterson kept it up. Johns from the back row plays it over. Wesleyan trying to snap the skid, and they will. That's off the fingertips of Patterson. 6-4 Eagles. Now, Chris, the point I was attempting to make, this game goes so fast-paced, you have to kind of make a point over multiple rallies. Ashlyn Nelson, she's been playing mostly outside hitter tonight. She also has played defensive specialist in high school and at times last year. She's shown her DS abilities these last couple rallies, some outstanding digs.
No doubt. No doubt.
Patterson, Bartlett plays it over. Eagles wind up. Johns diving. Patterson setting. Bartlett, that's deflected, kept up. Both these teams have played really strong defense tonight. That's going to get down Raven point. And the bleacher creatures down below us, Chris, starting to make some noise. That's either like 50 normal people or Charles Caparasso.
Maybe both.
It could be both.
Maybe both.
Dayton Bogle, that one is a little bit long. 7-5, but Ravens really needed to find a spark after trailing early in this fourth set 4-0. Since then, they've gotten 5 of the last 8 points. Showing, I think if there's one big takeaway from this match tonight, Chris, no matter if the Ravens come back and win or if they do fall, is there's an ace. This team's shown they're going to make every single match tough. They're going to fight in every single game they play this year.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
You can't coach a team that doesn't want it, Chris. I think that's something Coach Midget would tell you. And that was kind of like a play at the rim where one player goes up for the dunk, another player goes up for a block, and that time the block won.
The block did win, yeah.
Olivia Murphy, heck of a play there. Kaiten O'Brien will serve for the Ravens. It's 8-6. Wesleyan with the lead in both set 4 and in the match, 2-1. Played over, O'Brien. Winchin, now to Nelson. Nelson coming in, miss hit, out of play. Wesleyan's built their lead back up to 3. If we see what we've seen tonight for a good portion of this season, Ashlyn Nelson's going to get a lot of opportunities to get kills this year. Here she goes again. That one blocked.
What a block. What a block.
Murphy and Bell this time. That's been the strongest part of the Raven defense, Chris, is right at the net. We've seen Simeon do it. We've seen Bell do it. We've seen Murphy do it. Ravens have really shown up in the middle tonight. That one floated over, and that's just outstanding awareness there from Wesleyan. 10-7. And that's, when you have a team that's having so much success at blocking, sometimes you can catch them being a little over-aggressive for the block.
Which might cause them to kind of be a little less aggressive on the next play.
It's a chess match, back and forth.
It really is.
Back and forth.
It really is.
This is Riley Winchin. Murphy setting Nelson. Nelson, full head of steam, blocked. That's the duo of Garcia Alondra and Jenna Woodring. Woodring, a familiar face to Southeast Kansas. She's from Independence. Went to Tyro Christian School.
Sounds familiar.
Simeon able to punch that one over. Here's Woodring again, gets it over. Ravens got to play it in. It's a little long off the play of Caton O'Brien. It's now 12-7 Eagles. If you're the Ravens, Chris, it's been a theme all night where they've gotten better as the set's gone on, but you don't have there's an ace. You don't have a lot of time to wait around anymore to wait to find your groove. You got to find it pretty quick.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Ravens trying to win and force a set number 5. They trail 13-7 here in set number 4. Murphy hits it over, gets it down. I don't unfortunately have the stats in front of me, but Olivia Murphy's going to come close to leading this team in kills tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's been really good. She has been really impressive. That's that 95 sets of experience.
Yeah, no doubt.
They set it in the middle, and Wesleyan with the quick response. And this is, something that, I'm going to keep making comparisons to basketball because every time I look, as there's a timeout, we'll keep it here. But I'm going to keep making comparisons to basketball because when I look over to my left, I keep seeing basketball players.
Right.
But something that Coach Herkelman, the Hall of Famer, tells me, Chris, is, he doesn't mind trading bucket for bucket with a team if his team's up 10.
Right.
You're looking to build that advantage and then hang on to it.
Right.
And that's what Wesleyan's doing right now. They have a 6-point lead. They don't mind giving Coffeyville points now as long as they go 1 point, 1 point, 2 points, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. If Coffeyville can't get that 3-4 straight points, Wesleyan's built themselves up a cushion now where they're comfortable where they're at.
Oh, absolutely they are. And it's just one of those things where you just got to get that rally. And you already mentioned the rally, but the rally needs to come pretty quickly here within the next couple of points. Otherwise, time is just going to run out on this Coffeyville team in this matchup.
Like you hinted at earlier, Chris, the Lady Ravens back at it here at Nellis East on Wednesday night against the Cali Tigers. Defending national champions will be in town. Talk about a tough draw. I don't know who made the schedule. They were not friendly.
No. Schedule unkind, that's for sure.
You had to play Cali at some point this year, but week 1's pretty mean. As there's an ace out of the timeout for the Eagles. And we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, Chris. Obviously, here being, Raven fans and covering the Raven team, we can sit here and talk about the mistakes the Ravens made tonight and the opportunities that they didn't capitalize on, but I think at the same time, you have to give your flowers to Oklahoma Wesleyan. They've played one heck of a game so far.
They really have. Yeah, they have. They've limited their errors, their unforced errors, if you will, especially at the last couple of sets. They've limited those, and they've really made some smart plays.
No doubt they have. And they have to finish the job here on the road, but I think Alexis Brown should be very proud of her squad tonight. Ashlyn Nelson with the serve. It's a pretty good one. Gives the Ravens a chance to be on the attack. Bartlett. Nelson backs it up. Patterson setting Bartlett again. That time it gets over. Ravens again setting up. Simeon. That one hit to the back line. Johns is there. Patterson setting it for Bogle this time, and that one hit long.
I got to thinking about it. There's only one thing worse than facing Cali in the second game.
What's that?
That's facing Cali in the first game.
That's true. It's a good point you made. There's a kill for Nadeja Simeon. 16-10. That one hit long. That's actually off of the line judge.
She took that very well.
She did. Now, this is why I'm not a line judge, Chris. If a ball hit me I'd call it out, and then I'd throw the player out. You're gone. Goodbye. Service ace for the Ravens. 16-12, 3 straight points for Coffeyville. Again, not going down without a fight.
Ejected.
Suspended.
Rudeness.
Kicked out of school. Try again next year. That one's going to find the line. And we talk about it all the time across a variety of sports, Chris, but good teams, you're going to run into good teams, no matter who you are. Good teams find a way to respond when they're punched in the mouth.
Right.
Every time tonight that Oklahoma Wesleyan has been hit by a Raven rally, they have responded.
They have.
Kudos to them.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's a lesson that, this young Raven team is gonna learn. You're gonna get punched in the mouth. That's sports. You need to find a way to punch back. Skyland Hogan Turner into the game and couldn't quite get that one over. Makes it 18-12 Eagles.
And you just know this Coffeyville team is going to respond more times than not as the season goes along.
And I think it's important to remember last season, of course, the Ravens struggled in the non-conference early in the season. I don't remember the exact record, as that's going to be an ace. But I believe they came back for their lengthy homestand, something along the lines of 3-8, 4-8, something like that. So we've seen a Raven team start slow and still finish with 20 wins, still finish in the top half of the conference.
Right.
I know it's a new coach. I know it's a lot of new players. But, something that Nick Dobler said at Media Day for Red Raven football is a quote that I think I'm going to use a lot this year for Red Raven sports. We're still CCC. We're still Coffeyville. Coaches change, players change. The expectations don't change.
That's true.
We're still Coffeyville.
That's true, yeah. And the one thing you see over in the huddle, you don't see any slump shoulders or anything like that. They're still paying attention. They're still working out a way to get back into this match.
And that's a sign of a strong leader as well.
Absolutely.
Of course, we have plenty of Red Raven sports coming your way this week. Red Raven Coaches Show Wednesday night, US 98 with Coach Dobler. We also have Red Raven Soccer at home on Wednesday, as well as Red Raven Volleyball at home on Wednesday. Both of those games on the Red Raven Sports Network. Red Raven football gets their season started Thursday night in Salina. You can catch that on US 98, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kick. Fun week to be a Red Raven fan, Chris.
No doubt.
We talked about it earlier. That one's going to get over. Big swing there and a kill for the Eagles. They now have a 20-12 lead. We talked about it earlier, but as the night's gone on, Chris, we've seen men's basketball coach Jay Herkelman. We've seen multiple, I'd say 6-7 men's basketball players.
Right.
We've seen women's basketball coach Tony Turner. We've seen the Red Raven football team. We've seen Red Raven baseball players. We've seen David Wiggins, Dr. David Wiggins, the director of the Red Raven Band. We've seen Brad Weber, SID. We've seen so many people here supporting the Red Ravens in their home opener. It's just so fun to be a Red Raven fan because, like you said, it's one big athletic family. It's coaches supporting coaches, players supporting players, winners supporting winners.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's going to be an ace. Ravens trying to put together one final rally to keep their hopes alive. It's 20-14. That ace by Dayton Bogle. Another strong serve for Bogle. On played over, Bogle, Murphy for Bartlett. And that one played over and a great response for the Eagles. That was Jade Gosney, another freshman that's really had a nice night in her debut. Some of these freshmen that have had these strong nights for Wesleyan JV, they may not be on the JV side of Wesleyan much longer.
Yeah, that's true. Not if they keep putting up performances like this.
Annabelle Bell, heck of a play to just get that over. Wind up there, Winchin trying to keep it alive, and it'll fall. Eagles move within 3 points of ending this one tonight. Murphy meets it at the net. And we've said a lot of names a lot tonight, Chris, but I think as we expected, the name we've said the most and the most consistent is Olivia Murphy. We expected her with the most experience to really emerge as this team's top player early in the season. She's lived up to that hype in match number 1.
That's for sure.
Service error makes it 23-15. Wesleyan now 2 points away from a 4-set victory here in match number 1. Winchin, Johns to Nelson. Nelson kept it up, and Murphy with another kill. She might end up leading this team in kills tonight.
What a combination, though.
I mean, this is something that I think, from my perspective, Chris, and there might be people that disagree, but I think this is just what a young team does on night number 1. As here's Nelson winding up, and that one a little bit mishit. Match point coming for the Eagles. This is a team that clearly has talent, has athleticism, has speed, has quickness. They just need to get the chemistry down. They need to get the scheme down. That's going to take some time. It's going to take 8 to 10 matches. But I think this team has shown tonight in flashes and spurts. They have the talent. They have the athleticism. They have the makeup to win games this year.
They do.
Winchin. Johns will play it over. A chance for Wesleyan to end it here. They'll set it. Independence kid floats it over. Not that time. Nelson winds up. What may be the final kill of the night for the Ravens is a mighty nice one from Ashlyn Nelson. Dayton Bogle checks in, as does Brianna Patterson.
Yeah, Nelson put the bop in that kill.
That was good. That was very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You'll be here all year.
Sorry, folks.
That one off the arm of Patterson, and that's how it ends. Oklahoma Wesleyan comes to Nellis East and defeats the Lady Ravens in the season opener. Final score in this one, 25-23, 20-25, 25-19, 25-17. Chris, like I said, obviously not the night the Ravens wanted to start the season, but it's a learning experience that all young teams need to have. We saw some good. We saw a lot of good. We saw some big-time performances. Now's a chance to get back into practice, work on some things you struggled with tonight, get ready for Cali in 48 hours.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing. 48 hours to basically, number 1. 48 hours to number 1. How are you going to respond on Wednesday night? I look to see some really good things from this Coffeyville team from Wednesday night.
I completely agree. Big thanks to Andrew Elrod for his help, as always, getting us set up here on the Red Raven Sports Network. Obviously, we look forward to working with Andrew and his team again all throughout the season. We do appreciate you hanging out with us here on RRSN. Final score again tonight, Ravens fall in 4 sets at Nellis East. We'll be back in action on Wednesday for a doubleheader of soccer and volleyball here on the Red Raven Sports Network. Till then, for Chris Freund and Andrew Elrod, I'm Shane Neal saying so long and good night.